Hey everybody, how are y'all tonight?
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Man, some of y'all have been on here for a little bit, huh?
Yep.
We got all kinds of talking going on. Could you switch spaces? It's harder to hear.
We can if you want me to.
I mean, I guess we can. We can try it. She just likes to be on this side. I'll move over. I don't talk very loud, so hopefully that won't be a problem.
I talk too loud. Sorry. I know, I'm sure that you have to turn the volume down to hear me.
You good right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get on here. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
We will be doing another Q&A tonight. Answering questions. Ashley, if you are on Telegram, I would get one of the admins to look that over for you so that you don't have to wait on us to reply. Because waiting on us might be a little bit of a process to get to you. Cheryl, the slow-mo is on for us.
Yeah, that's the reason you can only do it every 3 minutes. That way we can actually read the comments because it flies by.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia, yeah, I mean, it is kind of disrespectful that we have to release, but foreigners can get all kinds of help, or immigrants. Doesn't allow me to send it to any admin.
Then you're in the wrong Telegram group.
Yeah.
Either you're in the public channel where you can't chat, or you're in the wrong Telegram group if you can't send it to an admin.
And Cheryl, I don't know that I'm on in the private chat. How do I join and contact the admin? I'm new to Telegram.
You're going to need to send an email to us because we'll need to drop you a link.
I'll put the email address in here. I'll pin it.
We are not to the 10th of May yet. There was a death in our family last week, and we had to go to a funeral over the weekend. So
all right, we'll go ahead and get started.
if you'll just bow with us and join us in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer tonight. We thank you for the opportunity to meet together again and to go over things that you continually want us to know, to be able to further our knowledge for your kingdom and for humanity. Lord Jesus, to free those who have been enslaved and to help each and every one of us to come to the light and get out of the darkness. And it is because of groups like this that we can come together and learn from one another as we go about our night together, in Jesus' name. Okay. So if you, we're going to do Q&A. I want to read something to you that I really thought was very, very true to the things that we're learning, very true to just our life circumstances and some of the things that we deal with, you know, on a daily. So let me just share this. It's just a quick little poem that is really good. So here it goes. And some of this was from Harry Hopkins, who was an advisor to Franklin Roosevelt back in the day. So that's where some of this comes from. And again, before I get started, we're not legal professionals. We're not attorneys. We do not offer legal advice. We are not tax professionals. We do not offer any tax advice or financial advice. So
please do your own research to make sure that you are learning the topics that we talk about.
Yeah, it's very important. I know that a lot of people don't have a lot of time, but everyone can take 10 minutes to 30 minutes at night or whenever you get your kids to bed or family down to further your knowledge. And, you know, I have a hard time with people that don't want to spend the time to read anything. We made the ebook so that it would be easy for everyone to follow along with the process and answer questions that you might have, because that ebook answers pretty much everything. There's some things here and there that you would need to ask, but a lot of people don't want to do the work to read the ebook. And a lot of the questions that we get are addressed in that ebook. And we have admins that spend a lot of time putting that together for you. So please pay attention to the ebook before you dive into, you know, doing your 1099-A and everything. It's important that you understand who you are and what you're doing and how you're able to do this. And the process is lined out very clearly on how to do it in the ebook. So out of respect, I would appreciate if you would just take the time to look through that before bombarding the admins with a bunch of questions that are already answered. Okay, here we go. We tax his pay, tax his play, even tax his time of day. We tax his shirt and tax his coat, tax his car and tax his boat. We tax his food and tax his drink, tax him good so he can't think. We tax his house, tax his chair. By taxing his comb, we tax his hair. By taxing his pills, we tax his health. With taxes on taxes, we steal his wealth. And when he's sick, we'll tax his bed. Tax him till he's good and dead. Then we'll place upon his tomb Taxes drove me to my doom. But after he's gone, we won't relax. We'll steal his kids home with an inheritance tax. So if that's not true, and that came directly from sources with the Roosevelt administration, that was the plot long ago, and here we are. So I thought that was pretty good, and thought I would read that. I would also encourage all of you to take a good hard look at Deuteronomy 15. The admins, we were having a chat about Deuteronomy 15 just a few minutes ago before we got on here. Very interesting, very, very interesting, as is Luke and Matthew, and how it applies to a creditor-debtor situation. I would really encourage you to look at pretty much the whole Bible, but Deuteronomy and Matthew and Luke for starters. So we'll go ahead and do some Q&A. We'll answer some questions. We're going to try our best. If we've answered it a million times, we're going to try our best to skip over those because it gets a little taxing to hear the same questions answered over and over. If you look back on our lives in the, those past few lives that we've had, most of your questions are going to be answered. So if you don't get your question answered here, I encourage you, as time consuming as it is, I would encourage you to go and listen to those because you're going to get a lot of your questions answered from then.
So let's see. I received my agreement today. Am I supposed to print it, sign it, and mail it to you? You can mail it to us, or you can print it out, sign it, and then scan it back in and email it back to us. Or you can put it in the DM.
Just please don't take a screenshot of it. A lot of people have come back to and said, please, if you've screenshotted it, we can't always see those because it prints a very black or dark gray background on it. And for, purposes within the file, we want it to be a clear version. So if you could scan it and send a PDF back, that's best.
Yeah, we all need to pray for the state of our country. It is kind of spiraling out of control. Some of it's
I think that's something we all should be in prayer for daily anyway.
Yeah. Some of it's by design. We have to see it.
You can't message in the private group right now. We mute the channel during the live. If you're trying to be in the chat right now, you can't. Our admins are moderating on here, so we mute the chat while we're having a live. It'll be back on for you to communicate after we're finished here.
Is everything going as planned with the 1099As? I mean, everything's going as planned as far as we're concerned.
We haven't received any communication saying that, there's
anything different. So, we haven't received any funds yet. We're just now approaching on ours. The one that we had with the title company will be close to 60 days, the end of this week. So 60 days from when we mailed it off. I think they actually received it on April 2nd. So looking at June 1st, June 2nd to be at 60 days.
I do know some people that sent theirs off on the 1st of March and they received funds last week. So I know that funds are coming. It's just a matter of when we hit them heavily at tax time.
Anthony, I got your name down. I'll look at it.
Yeah, we have a lot. So, it takes a long time to go through just a day because people, we have a lot of people send things on a daily. So, and the process to get everything done on our end is very time consuming. So, Jasmine, you can email and just put realtor in the description of our email address that's pinned up here on the chat, and we will drop you the link to get into the realtor group. Yeah, you can mail us. If you can mail us whatever you want. If you want to send hard copies to us, you can definitely do that. And if you need our mailing address, I'm not going to give that out publicly. You can just email me and I'll give that to you. Just put address in the subject line and I'll drop you our our mailing address.
As far as the link to get into Telegram tonight, I don't think we're going to be dropping it. Email us and put Telegram link, and we'll get you the link into the group. We're trying to slow down some of the scammers that are getting into the group.
Yeah, if you're going to go with another trustee, definitely let us release you from everything so that you're not getting caught up with the same transaction with two different trustees. They don't want that. We don't want that. You definitely don't want that because that'll fall on you. Let's see. If y'all are still showing a tracking in DC, that's because they're inter-officing things to the processing center and they're not updating on USPS. We haven't gotten anything back, so there's nothing that's being returned to us or anything like that. So Cheryl, just drop us another email with Telegram in the description and I'll get you in there. And I'll write your name down and I'll write your name down and I'll get it to you later after the live.
I like that, Thomas. Gave the landlord a conditional acceptance and got me another month's rent. Hey, do what you got to do to keep from being evicted.
Mm-hmm. If you still need an ebook, if you'll just put ebook in the description of the email, I'll drop the ebook. I always put the ebook, the agreement, and the link to Telegram in your when I send it back, the ebook to you, I drop all of that in there so that you don't have to request it again later. No, if you've sent your documents through Telegram, you don't have to mail them to us. Mailing them to us is a preference that, you have to be able to get your wedding signature sent to them versus just electronic. So if you want to mail things to us, you can, but you don't have to. It's a personal preference on how you want to do it. Funds do not need to sit in our trust account more than, I would say, 5 months. We can make exceptions for a few people that are building if we're dispersing funds, but it's taking a process to do that. That's fine. But if you're just going to purchase or acquire something that's not being built, we really need it to be done as quickly as possible. I know people are wanting their documents. Yes, we have signed every agreement that's come in, but we have not scanned them all back to you yet because if y'all want us to stop what we're doing to scan those agreements back to you, we definitely can do that because they're all signed and in the file. But, we haven't been able to get all of that done and get everything processed, but we can get it to you. I guess if that's what y'all want, we'll just stop what we're doing and send all of the agreements to you that have been signed.
Victor Salazar, got your name down. We'll get in touch with you as a general contractor.
Documents from us are processed. So this person is asking, where did it go? For the people that submitted their 1099-A, were they processed electronically or manually? That depends. If you send us the $3 fee to process electronically, then they were processed electronically. If you did not send the fee, then we process them manually. And some of the forms go out manually anyway, because you can't e-file everything. The 1040V, the 1096, well, the 1096 can come electronic, but some of the forms, 8888, we have to send all of those hard copies anyway. So some of it's manually, some of it's electronic. If you paid for it, we filed it electronically on the OID. Right now, we're between the 5th and the 10th of May. I'm not going to tell you that we haven't missed a few people in the 1st and 2nd, 3rd. We still are funneling through some of those emails because some people watched our first email or our first video, and they sent it to my Jarrett Realtor account. So we have stuff in that account and we have stuff in Jarrett Realty Investors, and some people have sent it to Drew, to me, and to our Realtor account. So we're getting 3 different emails. So if y'all could just please send your agreements and your copy Bs together and not separate, that would help us. If you send it to one, either DM Drew or email the Jarrett Realty Investors, but please don't do both because that makes we're having to do the same file twice and then realizing we already have it done. Yes, Andy, we are. Thank y'all for those who send us energy drinks. We really appreciate it. They've come in real handy for us.
Yes, definitely. Especially with my addiction. Chasing the Night. Yes, you can send his information through your Telegram or through his email. That's fine. I'll just need his information as far as like a way to contact him when his funds arrive. So if he has an email address or phone number we can add to the chart, that would be great.
Oh, Drew's at the post office every day. So if you had stuff come in, he picked up today, this morning, for anything that was there over the weekend.
Yeah, they only had like 4 things this morning when I went. So And then I think I got some slips that were in the mail today that I'll go pick up in the morning.
Bob Johnson, anybody that wants to donate, you can donate through, we have a Give, Send, Go link that I still haven't put up, but it's ready to go. I need to put that up. But you can send it to Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. If you want to send a donation, you can do that. And you can just put donation in the subject of the, of what you're sending, and we'll apply it to that. We're trying to help some of the homeless people too, as we can with donations. So that was the reason we set up the Give, Send, Go link that we will drop in the Telegram this evening. I don't know. Is there a way to put it on YouTube?
I'll have to go and look. Also, guys, our website's live. Jarrett Realty Investors.com is our website. We've got to put the Give, Send, Go link in it, but it'll be up in that too. But I just put it into the chat. So you can go into there and create you an account, and then you'll be able to upload all your documents into that website through your account, and we'll be able to see your documents there as well. So, but it's also got questions and answers, has all our videos, has a few other videos in there about
very educational videos,
educational stuff.
Very, very good videos.
So JarrettRealtyInvestors.com.
And one of our admins behind the scenes built our website voluntarily and did a great job on it. So we're really appreciative of him helping us with that to get it. It's going to be better. You can go in, you can create your account, and you can upload documents into the website now. So you don't have to email them. You don't have to send them in a DM and Telegram. You can actually create your profile, which is better because then we'll have your contact information and your phone number and everything. And you can upload your documents right into that. There's question and answers that you can, if you don't see the answer in the ebook or on the website, then you can do a support ticket and ask that way. And that'll help relieve some of the demands on our admins too. So
if you didn't sign your copy B after correcting, that's okay. If you filed it online, that's fine. If you want a wedding signature on file, you'll need to mail us your hard copy 1099A and sign the back of it so that it monetizes it, and then we'll have it on file. But we're not going to send that in until your funds come, because we don't want it to get mixed up at the IRS and they send it out twice, or at the Treasury and they send it out twice. So
we can still assist with status correction. Just if I've sent you an email, there's an intake form on there with the information that I'll need. I don't need a copy of your birth certificate. I just need the information on the intake form.
if I acknowledge that we got your paperwork, that just means I've received it and printed it. Doesn't mean I've done anything, filed it yet. You will get another email stating that it's been processed, and then we'll give you the link to the next group.
Thank you so much, Brian Faulkner. I appreciate that. I did watch the 9-hour video that was sent, and it was super amazing. I've watched it actually almost 2 times now. If you want to send a postal money order or some kind of money order for the fee, or however you want to send the fee, if you're not going to do it electronically, you can definitely send it to us in the mail. And once we get your packet, then we can still file the OID online. Charlene, because you can't acquire gift cards for food. The form is acquisition of property. So it has to be collateral backed. It has to be an asset. You can abandon debt, but you can only acquire property that is collateral backed.
Okay, I'll get with the our webpage and find out, because I thought there was a link so
you
could
on forms.
Create your own account.
I think it's under forms.
Okay. I'll have to find out.
Mario, if you will email me and say what you just said in your question right there, I can get him your information and he can give you a call if he can do that.
I mean, the website's going to have, it's got all of our videos to present. It's got a few other videos in there. We'll put some updates in there as things go along. There's a testimonial page. So as we start getting testimonies, as funds start coming in, that'll be updated.
You might want to follow us on our Rumble page too, because as we get more educational things on the medical side, we're going to be putting those on Rumble. So you might want to follow us on Rumble too, just for that information when we drop it in there, because that'll be the only place that we drop that info, and on our website. Roger Richter, yes, we can still accept new people. As of right now, there's not very many trustees out there that are doing this. So I know that there's people that are needing that, and we're trying to build a team of those. So yes, we are still taking you. Just know that patience is key, because even if we dropped your funds, if we dropped everything, filed everything electronically tomorrow and put it all into the mail, it's still a 60-day wait as of right now. Until I have something that, until the speed has increased, we're at about 60 days right now, going beyond. So
the website again is Jarrett, Jarrett, Realty, Realty, Investors, investors.com.
If you're Googling it, you're not going to find it on Google. I haven't updated our Google webpage yet, so you're not going to find it by just Googling it. You're going to need to put in the actual JarrettRealtyInvestors.com to get to it.
Okay, right here, enter your email in the login section and click log in, and the register link will appear if you're in the website.
Corvette Chronicles, it is I'm going to drop that video into our website, because it's super, super incredibly informative of the parse syntax grammar. But it talks a lot about a lot of other things too. So I'll get that video dropped into our website later on tonight, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. Make myself a note because I forget.
Thank you, Chantel. Prayers for your speedy recovery as well.
Tremaine, no, we didn't start. We didn't send our first batch of stuff to the Treasury until March, the 1st or 2nd week of March.
No, first, 2nd week of April.
I mean of April. April, sorry. So it hasn't, no, our people have not received funds yet, but I know some people that did last week, and they sent theirs at the 1st of March. If you've already submitted your paperwork, you can go ahead and start, you can go ahead and put your information into our website so that we have it, but please don't upload anything because we already have your stuff. So if you've already uploaded your documents to us through DM and Telegram or through the email, then you don't need to do it on the website too. This is just going forward. For people that haven't submitted yet, they can submit there. And it'll be a little more secure, I feel, than to go through the other channels.
We are between the 5th and the 10th on emails and paperwork. Yes, definitely wait until your funds come in before you start approaching someone to buy a home.
Yeah, because we're not going to get proof of funds if we don't have proof of funds. CPD, can you speak on people saying that the reason why no one is receiving funds yet is because the method that has been taught are not fully accurate, mainly 1099A and 1099 OID filings? Absolutely not. We're doing them the right way, and that's how people did receive funds last week. They did it the exact same way we're doing it. They received funds last week. So can you pin the link for the website?
Yeah.
Lily Ford, yes, you can. Drew's pinning the website so that you can go to it and you can create your registration or login or whatever it's called on there, and you can upload documents through there. www. Okay.
I'll have to find it.
I think the website is going to be super helpful for everyone. I really think it's gonna make a big difference in being able to communicate. Angela, yes, if it's something new, you can add it into the website. If it's something you already submitted to us, don't add it into the website. That's just going to double our workload or triple it or however many you have. So if it's something new that we've never received before, please upload it into the website. And if you have already sent it, just you can go in there and put all of your information. Just don't upload anything.
I just pinned the website at the top of the chat, guys. I replaced the email address with it. So yes, if you're watching Chris Hauser's method on the OID, it's complete. You just gotta, it's self-explanatory. So your best bet, and the same thing that Hauser says, and we've been saying too, you need to research it. You need to read the instruction packet for every form. You need to read publication
1212.
1212. You need to read publication 1220. Another quick thing that I looked into, when you guys are getting this reference number on 1099 online and you're going in and looking and it says will be released in 10 calendar days, go back and reread that. If your submission is good, they will release the file in 10 business days, not the funds, or 10 calendar days. They will release the file to the IRS or to the Treasury, not funds. So yes, it's been accepted. Yes, everything is good, but they're going to send that off in 10 days from the date that the acceptance is. So that's not stating that the money's going to be released in 10 days. So I missed it when I first read it. I've never been able to find it again. I actually found it in the last week and went back through it, and that's what it means. Does not mean money's coming in 10 calendar days. It means that the file will be released to the Treasury or to the IRS in 10 calendar days.
Yeah, it's Lewis. The instructions on how to upload documents is very simple. You just click on the file upload and upload it from your computer. Once the paperwork has been sent off, you're going to get an email from me. It actually comes from Drew's email because he's the one that created the Jarrett Realty Investors, but I'm handling all of the emails. So you're actually talking to me and I'm pretending I'm Drew. But you're going to get an email from me that says paperwork has been processed, and you are welcome to take the link below and go to the next phase Telegram page so that you can chat amongst the others that have been processed.
And if you get it from me, it's normally in the DMs. I'm short and sweet. Paperwork process, link to next group.
Me too. And mine goes something like attached, ebook agreement, and link below. But you need to understand, when you're doing that 1,800 times, it gets a little, it takes time. It takes time to answer emails, file paperwork, you know, and still make time for a marriage, because we work together all day and we live together full time and we work together full time. So sometimes we have to work on our mental health and our marriage as well. So
a little bit. Magic banks. I don't know if the status correction is on the website.
No, it's not.
I don't think it is.
It's not. If you want information on that, put status correction in the subject line of an email, and I'll drop you. Here's how the email goes. Okay. We do 19 to 21, sometimes more documents if you've been married, divorced as a woman and had to change your name multiple times. But a minimum of 19 to 20 documents is what you're going to get from us. And then I drop in an intake form that you have to fill out if you want to move forward. We charge $200. That's the only thing that we charge for other than the OID. I think that's pretty reasonable compared to some of the other ones that I've seen. It's very time consuming to do that too. So we do that just to kind of, you know, as you know, we're doing that to help you. We're also doing that to somewhat help us, because we've been focusing on 1099A process ever since we started and have kind of neglected some of our, you know, duties from the past as far as our income. So let's see.
right here, Stand for Truth. Just went through all the Chris Hauser videos from start to finish and had success with the A4V with tax bills in England.
Awesome.
So guys, the stuff works. You just have to go and educate yourselves as well on other processes to help fight everything.
And like we've been saying, that's from England. The processes, we have connected with people all over the world in this movement, and it is a worldwide movement. It is not an America only movement. So we're all across the globe fighting the same things in the same way. And we're all fighting for our freedoms in the same way across the globe. So, yeah, it's a worldwide event that we have, a movement that we have going here, not event, movement. So it's pretty interesting and kind of blows my mind still, even knowing that we all process everything the same way through the same place.
Joseph Barber, you should be able to correct it. If it doesn't allow you to correct it, you'll have to void it and redo it. If you've already filed it and it's been accepted on 1099 online.
Where was that? Uh-oh. Somebody said something over here. Okay, I saw something about a solar guy, but I don't know where that went. Right there. Terry Drew, I have a solar guy who will accept a 1099A. He's out of California, but he travels the whole country. If you want to drop me his name, Ralph, I'll get in touch with him. You can email it to me and just say solar guy in the subject line and drop his info, and I'll get in touch with him. You can send the $200 through Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. If you need the links to those and you want to make sure you have us the right ones, you can just ask for however you want to pay, Venmo, Zelle, and ask for the link, and I'll give you our username. James Mabry, for the $200 is for if you wanted us to do a status correction and do all of the paperwork for you, then we can do it for you. That's what we charge. We have about 19 to 20 or more forms that we give you to go and do your status correction. So we do all of the paperwork for you, and then you go and get it notarized unless you're in Texas, and I can notarize it for you, because I'm actually a notary. And if we have any other notaries here that want to announce where you are, if there's anybody in your area that can, use your services to get their documents notarized, just let us know in the group here or in Telegram.
Marcus Oakes, I wrote your name down to go double check and see.
Our 1099A, we have not gotten it. We've not gotten it. Thankfully, we are able to extend our closing. But you know what? If for some reason that doesn't work out for us, that's okay. God will lead us to another place. I know that wholeheartedly, and I am comfortable with where we are. I know that the funds will come. If it's not meant to be on that property, it will be on another one, and God has a better plan for us that we don't know about. So that's how I look at life. So
Shalandra or Shalanda Purser. I will double check and see if I got your paperwork. The first step group, guys, is actually everybody that's been processed, everybody's paperwork that we have sent off.
Status correction documents, you're going to go and record those in the, I would say, most conservative county near you. You'll just go to the recording office and record them into that county database. They'll actually put a recording number and everything on it. And then just make sure that you get your originals back when they're done with them. And if for some reason you don't, if they give you a hard time recording them, because some counties do give a hard time, then you can find an unincorporated county in your area, or you can, or I have some places that will record it for you. So if, you know, if you're having a hard time, let us know. And we'll kind of help you and assist where you might can get those recorded. I like the networking for notaries going on here. That's helpful for people. If you want to, if you're looking for a notary, look in the chat here. People are offering their services in the different states.
Yes. Even if you don't know what car or home you want, you can go ahead and write your 1099-A. You're just going to put, for a home, you're going to put real property. For a car, you're going to just put car, automobile, whatever. And then when or whatever you're looking at getting. And then when the funds come in, then we'll send those where they need to go. And then if we need to correct the 1099-A with exactly what you're getting, we'll just ask for a correction.
Just delete.
I'll just answer it.
Well, Harry, I just gave a testimonial a few minutes ago. Someone got their funds last week that submitted them in on April the 1st, the first part of March. Okay, we are delayed because of tax time and because there's an influx of us coming into their system. So
Guess you need to go research so you can find out.
There's a lot of testimonies. We've given a lot of testimonies on here, and we had an admin get their car loan paid off and relieved last week too. So yes, the process works. It doesn't always, not the 1099-A process. I'm talking about paying off the bills doesn't always work the first time. You got to keep on and do what you need to do, to get everything discharged. But you keep up the good fight, you're going to have a testimony.
If you're trying to get your birth certificate from any state, pretty much, you want the long form. You want to make sure you're getting the long form of the birth certificate.
I know David Straight. I do not follow. I've watched some of his stuff, but I don't follow. You cannot buy gold with a 1099-A. And yes, you can purchase a house and a vehicle. You can acquire a house and a vehicle at the same time. One house, one car per year per trust. Yes, Laurie, you can attach everything in one email for him and for you. Yeah, here's a Midwest also, this person says that Midwest also stated that he was notified by someone he knows that the IRS was starting to process 1099As to be patient. I mean, they just also hired a lot of, they were looking for 10,000 new staff members. So they did a big hiring recently. So hopefully there's a reason for that. We might have helped that situation. If you send us everything at the same time, it's easier on us to process everything. And if you send it to one place and not multiple places, it's helpful on us. Michael Williams, not really on, do I know anything about authenticating a death certificate and monetizing it? I know that you can do that, and there's some forms on the Social Security Administration website that you might want to take a look at to see how you can access a deceased loved one's trust, or I forgot what the form says. Look through the forms, and there is something on there that you can request some stuff for that. If the Treasury asks for a purchase order, that's fine. We'll send them a purchase order. We haven't gotten a request for anything as of right now. So, and I know people that are getting the funds released without anything else. We're just writing down a few people's names here. Did you get it? Okay.
I mean,
well, we're not gonna.
I don't know.
Yes, if your landlord or private owner is renting a house and they will accept the 1099A, if they're just using their Social Security number as their business number, because as a sole proprietor, some people use their Social Security number for their tax ID. You can still do it that way.
Can you explain the coupon process? So, I mean, that's basically just detaching,
endorsing the back of the remittance coupon. Your endorsement is, you're the creditor when you endorse that. If you pay it, then they are saying, oh, we sent this with a positive number on it, and you've voluntarily given us an extra payment, basically, without your endorsement on the back of it. And that's kind of how they double dip. If you just send the endorsement, except for value, with the beneficiary signature endorsed on the back of it like a check, it doesn't always work, but keep up the good fight, and it eventually definitely will. You can pay it with the 1099A too. Yeah, I'm going to try to do another Did You Know? I'm in the middle of reading a 700-page book right now, so hopefully I'll have some more Did You Knows coming soon. Michael, if you want to fund a whole life insurance policy with a 1099-A, that's going to need to go directly to the insurance company. Because, and I don't know. You would have to talk to the insurance company about accepting that. No, Jeremy, they're having a Treasury Direct account is not, we've already done all the processes we can do on our end. There's no fast way. Look, when you do a closing on a home, just for instance, from a regular lender or from a lender that's not a big bank lender, the fastest that we can close on a house is usually 21 days. FHA and VA are anywhere from 30 to 45 days. So that tells me they're also waiting. There is no fast way. This is not a fast process. This is a process that requires a patient person. And if you're in a desperate situation, when we say that we're going to help those people, that means that we're going to help get their paperwork sent out more quickly, to try to help them get out of that situation. But that doesn't mean the funds are coming any faster, because we can't get funds any faster than what we're getting them for all of you.
John Williams, there's nothing you're going to be able to do unless you were able to pay him. Guys, they don't have to hold the property because you want it and you want to do a 1099-A. I mean, you're going to have to put earnest money down or good faith money down, negotiate a closing date. And if you don't close on the date that's negotiated, they don't have to honor you.
Yeah.
So by telling somebody you want a property and you want to use a 1099-A, and if they do not get the process, they're not going to help you with that. So yeah, they sold the property to somebody else that had money ready to go. That's why we've been telling you guys to stop going to realtors that do not understand any of this and trying to put a house under contract. Because you're either going to lose money, especially if the seller says, nope, I'm not extending. That's not happening. You told me 60 days. I took my house off the market for 60 days. I'm going to take your $5,000 and I'm going to put my house back on the market. And that's what they'll do. If you keep asking about checking the process of your paperwork, I've written some names down. If it's been anywhere after the 10th, I'm not looking at that right now. I might look and see that I've got some stuff and say that I've received it, but that's all that I'm going to do with it.
What is this over here? It went away. Okay, I don't see where it was.
If you're looking at doing an RV, you just need to put RV in there. Are they garnishing your wages?
For garnishment is conditional offer sent to law firm that bought the debt from credit card company or just credit card company or both. If they sold the debt to a collection agency, where's the wedding signature that you contracted with them, number one? You can also ask them for proof that they're a licensed collection company, and did they purchase the debt or did they acquire it, because you don't know who they are. I would dispute it first. I mean, that's me. But if they're garnishing your wages, then and you're in a hurry, then yes, I would conditionally accept them and send it to everyone.
Reading 700-page book, completing 1099As. Wow, when do you sleep?
Not very often, but I have to keep learning for the people and for myself, because knowledge is key. And that's why I tell everyone, you may not want to educate and you may not have the time, but I promise you, if you make the time, you will be so glad you did. Because when you know things and you train the brain to know the things that we haven't known, then only good can come from that. Yes, you can offer over asking and bypass an appraisal, because if you can even, once the funds come in, you can do a 7 to 10 day close, because it's a cash deal, because we have the cash ready. We have the earnest money to put down on your behalf. We can close within 7 to 10 days if the house is ready to go, and then you can forego the appraisal, or you have the money to do an appraisal. So it's up to you really in that. When you have the funds, you have a lot more
options.
Yeah, a lot more.
Would rather you separate them if you're trying to do a home and auto.
Oh, yeah. Because we're going to have to amend it and show what you actually acquired once we have an address and everything.
Had somebody in Nigeria that was wanting to know about.
In Nigeria, if your process is the same as the UK, England, and all of the other countries that we've talked to, yes, you can do it. If you have a social insurance number, a SIN number, then just another thing that when you can't unknow. If you have a SIN number, and it's a 9-digit or however yours is, then and all of your stuff still goes to the Treasury, then yes, we can help you. Well, you can look up. Okay. First of all, like I said earlier, this person says, other than watching your videos and Housers, what is the best way to learn about this movement and UCC stuff? First of all, because we're in the movement of discharging debt, I would say that you want to go definitely learn the 15 USC codes. Those are going to apply in commerce on discharging debt. So you're going to really want to know the 15 USC codes. You can just really Google those. They're all online. Let's see. What else can you do? You can listen to, you can read. The first place I would start would be understanding the straw man versus the beneficiary. And I use David Robinson's books for that. David E. Robinson on Amazon. There's a book called Give Yourself Credit, Money Doesn't Grow on Trees. That is an excellent book. Understanding the straw man, he has that, and common law. Really, you can't go wrong with any of the books that he has. What else? Really just know the 15 USC codes. You can look at, if you're going through child support issues or things like that, I would look at the 18 USC codes, and also some of the Supreme Court rulings on that. There's a lot of Supreme Court rulings that have already ruled in your favor that you aren't aware of. You know, I would love to sit there and drop everything that I know, but I just don't have the time to do everything. So I would really look into his books. Let's see.
Somebody put another book in here, The UCC Connection, How to Free Yourself from Legal Tyranny.
Yeah, I've read that one too. That's good.
So,
and if you want confirmation on all of it, Deuteronomy 15, I'm telling you. It mainly says creditor, debtor in there. And look at Luke, look at Matthew. Just really read through your Bible. It's a book of law. And you learn a lot just from that.
send us an email if you're trying to get into Telegram.
Yeah, if you're new on here, I would tell you go watch the videos, go back, watch the videos. If we haven't covered everything that you need to know, go listen to Chris Hauser. You know, there's questions being answered over on Midwest channel, on Chris Hauser's channel, on our channel. You know, we're all in the same movement together for the people. So, you know, utilize your resources there that you have.
There's a form.
So someone just said if you need to receive funds from a death certificate bond from a deceased family member, you need to file the form 5336. 5336.
We've processed a lot of people's forms for a house. We're just waiting on funds to come in.
Yes, I do know who David Strait is. I've watched some of his stuff. I'm not sure why people keep asking me that, but
yeah, you can send us the accepted 1099-A. Live simple. And I saw your question earlier, live simple, live happy. I think you've already sent us stuff before. So yeah, you can send it to the same address that you sent it to before.
If someone's looking for the attorney for remedies,
I'll drop it in Telegram.
Yeah.
Because the last time we talked about health stuff on here, it got banned. They took off the video. Yeah, there's been a lot of success with stuff getting funded on a 1099-A.
Mm-hmm. Fiji Island sounds pretty good. They picture us in the Fiji Islands after this. We'll see. I feel like we're going to be working for the people for a long time. I feel like will be working for the people for a long time. God uses us in other ways, and I'm good with that. So
you can reach us at Jarrett Realty Investors at gmail.com, or you can go to the website that's been pinned up in the top of the chat.
Pasha, if you're in Telegram, there's a lot of documents that have been dropped in that channel to help on trust stuff. Yes, if you've sent your forms and you haven't gotten a reply or anything, we're finishing up the ones that we've printed, and then we'll start printing another batch and another round of them right now. We're trying to get out everything that we've gotten in. So we'll get to you as soon as we can. And
guys, please don't email 5, 6, 7, 8 times just to get an answer for one 1099A or 2 1099As. It's the same with DMs. I get 13, 14, 22 DMs from the same person, same individual.
It makes us helping everyone else very difficult. So if you can just,
I will get to them. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Wait, go back up here.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So straight comes up in YouTube when watching your stuff. When you came up when watching Chris. Chris came up after watching David win. I love chasing the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all like chasing the rabbit.
It doesn't end.
And the hole never seems to have an end to it.
Once you're down that hole, well, you just entered another one. So trust me, it doesn't go away. You don't ever get to the end, I don't think.
Absolutely, yes. I haven't looked at that Telegram group, but I've heard some stories on some of that.
Look, again, you don't have to do a status correction to use a 1099A. Okay. Does it help to have your status corrected? Well, I would say ask yourself, does it help when you recognize fraud and have it, available to use to say that I know who I am, I know what my rights are, I'm on the land and soil jurisdiction, here's paperwork to show you so that they can leave you alone? Yes, I believe that helps. Do you have to have it? No. Some people cannot afford to have their status corrected right now. There are people living in desperate times right now that cannot afford to do that. I say you never had to have it to take out a loan. So, but do I think it helps to have it? Yes. I like to personally say I recognize the fraud that was placed against me. And, but it's personal preference.
If your landlord is willing to file all the paperwork and be the trustee, I would do it as the Treasury's the lender and you're the borrower. And then just give it to the landlord and let him file everything that he needs to file so that he can get the funds in.
If you receive SSI, somewhere it said, if you receive SSI, is this going to affect you? Your SSI is coming from your Social Security and disability and all of that, unemployment, all of that's coming from the same trust. So it's not going to hurt you. There's nothing that we're doing that's going to hurt you. It's only going to benefit you.
Rabbit hole keeps life very interesting.
It does.
It sure as heck has.
Not right now because he's still in the process of opening.
Yeah, he's not open completely yet.
Charlene, we'll let you know that person's name as soon as we make a plan with them. But their bank is still being formed. It's not open yet. We thought it was open. They're still working on opening it. Kevin Flanagan, if companies would honor their own remittance coupons on the bottom of their statements, half of our problems would be solved. Absolutely, they would. But, you know, they got to keep us trapped. They got to keep us enslaved. So we just got to keep pushing.
Sky Blue, if you sent me the agreement, the copy B to my DM, no, you do not have to send it to email. Please don't, because Tara and I've been printing stuff. She's been printing stuff. I make a folder and start doing it, and she makes a folder, and I go to file it, and she's already put it in. She's already filed it and sent you the link. And so we're both sitting here going, you've already done that one. So, you know, now I have to, shred this paperwork and do all that. So we're just, by going to multiple places, we've been actually doing multiple folders to get them ready to file. So that's kind of slowed down a lot of the process, because we're double doing it, and sometimes even triple printing it because it's in another area. I can't keep up with everybody's names. So
I don't know what would you say if they tell you to talk to the trustee to see when the funds were cashed so they can find them?
Who's going to find them?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the question really is on that. The funds are going to come to us, the trustee. We're going to funnel them to the title company and to the dealership or whoever is. So I don't know. Rent are you in a contract to pay rent? If you are, the landlord has entered into a fiduciary duty to your trust by accepting your social security number to get you into a rental contract. Okay. So they have a fiduciary obligation to abandon the debt with a 1099-A. Okay. You're not acquiring anything. You're abandoning debt by paying off your rent. So if they don't honor that, you can conditionally accept them because they've entered into a fiduciary duty to the trust when they took your social security number to run your background and all of that to be a tenant. Yes,
DeJuan Walker.
Read that out loud.
So, had a dealership order a car and accepted my 1099-A a couple of months ago. The car will be here in a few weeks, but they just said my 1099-A couldn't be used to get me approved. Do I send a conditional acceptance?
Yes.
Yes. Because they took your negotiable instrument and they didn't give it back.
Let me tell you, the Latin words that are on the Federal Reserve note, go look up what they mean. They literally tell you this is backed by nothing. Okay. The Federal Reserve notes say that this is not a US dollar. So where is my phone's over there, but I was going to read something to them.
So the borrower's TIN is their tax identification number. So if the Treasury, Treasury's the borrower is the, if you're the borrower, that's your tax identification number. That's your social. If it's with the Treasury being the lender, that's their tax identification number. That is in the examples of how to fill it out. You'll have to look at the examples on Telegram.
I want to read something that was really interesting that came to me today from someone on here. You'll know who you are. So this person sent this to me because it was interesting. And he asked Google today if Federal Reserve notes pay debt or discharge debt. And the response that Google gave them was exactly this. Federal Reserve notes are negotiable instruments that discharge debt, but they are not money. They are not backed by silver anymore like they were in the days of the silver certificates, nor are they backed by any other commodity that meets the definition of money. So that was pretty interesting. Maybe you want to Google the same. And again, just for you who didn't hear the first part, he Googled and asked Google if Federal Reserve notes pay debt or discharge debt, and that was the response. So I guess it wasn't fact checked.
Nope. We're still working on a list of dealerships, guys.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Real hard one.
And actually, we have had a call with some landlords and explain the process. And, you know, they're more than willing to kind of, for this one area, they're willing to take a 1099-A because they're getting paid for the entire year of rent, and that frees their tenants up to be able to use their earnings from their jobs to do other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So as landlords, when you use the 1099-A, you're getting paid the rent up front. You're not abandoning the debt.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a year's worth of rent up front, and that frees your tenants up to be able to have a better life.
Well, we had a tenant call. We had a call with a tenant. I mean, not a tenant. We had a call with a landlord that had 20 units, and none of his tenants are aware of this process, but he wanted to be fully aware of it because he wants to help his tenants be able to pay with a 1099-A so that they can go and do, because he knows that having the rent payment keeps them strapped a bit. And so he wanted to be able to free up their lifestyle so that they can enjoy life and live there. And so, you know, we're going to have a Zoom call with his tenants to present how that works. And then from there, it's their decision on whether or not they want to utilize that process. But we have, you know, tenants, or we have landlords coming forward that want to help their tenants. So, you know, as we continue in this movement and as this grows and people learn the process or hear about it, you know, we're hoping that, you know, more landlords and more people will start coming forward and realize that, hey, you know, look at the Federal Reserve note and what that means.
Yes, you can use your 1099-A to pay your arrears. Make it out as the Treasury is the lender, you're the borrower, and send it to the child support office or to the Attorney General or whoever's over your child support in your state, and tell them that this is to pay off the arrears for child support. They know what they're supposed to do with it.
I wrote the name. Harry, I wrote your name down. So I will pass that along to our administrator in the behind the scenes that's helping us coordinate the Zoom calls.
Now that the website is up, you can send your paperwork there if you've not already sent it to us. If you've already sent it to us, don't send it there too, because then we'll be printing it from there as well, and then we'll definitely have.
Then we'll make 2 folders, and we'll triple the printing or double the printing or sometimes quadruple the printing, and it really and then I have to work with him and live with him, and he has to do the same with me. And so it gets a little challenging when that happens.
What?
Right here, read that.
Did you tell him your date of birth? Because that's hearsay. Are you sure you were actually born that day?
You were too young to know, remember? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's true.
Did someone say that you have a letter that may stop foreclosure? I don't know. Is the conditional acceptance still up in Telegram?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Go on Telegram and look at the conditional acceptance. You're gonna have to word it to fit. You're gonna have to word it to fit your circumstance and your situation, because I don't have one up there that's specific to anything, but there's you a template to use, and you need to look up Supreme Court rulings on foreclosure. Add them in there, look up 15 USC codes, all of them, 16 USC codes, look at all of them. Okay, let's see.
There's, you can either Cash App it, Venmo, those are in the Telegram channel or in the ebook. If you don't have it, you can either email us and ask for the Cash App or Venmo.
Michelle, if you're going to have 20% over 20% left over, and you're going to need to use it for furniture or something like that, we're going to have to do an online purchase. You're going to have to pick out what you want, and we're going to have to pay for it like that, because we're going to have to be the ones to funnel the funds.
If any of y'all have real estate brokers that are wanting to, or you're wanting to try to get them to understand this or see what this is all about, just tell them to go back and look at the videos. That's where they first need to start, because I'm going to tell you what, trying to explain it to somebody that does not have a clue about what we're talking about does not work a lot of times. Especially if you tell them that proof of funds is illegal. I was told that's my opinion, but I also told them they needed to go look in the Fair Housing Act, and actually read the entire thing, because it is illegal. But yeah, you're dealing with individuals that have, especially if they're brokers, they've probably been around for a while. And what was it you read today, that trying to teach somebody something?
Cognitive dissonance.
Oh, the cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, in public education, they use the theory of cognitive dissonance to help us, or not help us,
brainwash us, basically,
to put us in a basically public sense of how commercial works. I mean, really and truly, because in school we're taught that we need to go to school to get a good public education, and we need to go to college so that we can get advanced in the public system so that we can, make more money for ourselves. So, yeah, the theory of cognitive dissonance, look that up and really research that. And that's why we have so many people still asleep. Because you're programmed to hear what you hear and disbelieve something like this.
And they say that, to be awake to everything, only 99.99% of us will actually wake up.
Not wake up.
I mean, 99.99% of us will still be asleep. So there's only that 0.01.
So here we are, guys.
% of us that are actually going to wake up to everything.
Welcome to the 0.01%. We are glad you made it.
The photo of copy B will be okay as long as it's not dark when I print it. If it's dark when I print it, I'll have to come back to you to get the PDF. That's the problem.
But here's the deal. I promise you, for your sake too, not just ours, you want a clean agreement. You want a clean agreement in the file for audit purposes or whatever. So it's just best for you and us to have a really clean copy of that. You can go and get the Fair Housing Act. It's a public document.
Yeah.
We're not doing 1099-A for Bitcoin. Another trustee might, but we're not going to do that. Okay, we'll just take a few more questions and call it a night. The Q&As always go longer than we think that they're going to go as we get into other things. But the name of the book I'm reading, it is a lot of things printed together that equal 700 pages. That's all I'm going to say. It's a lot of different things. I put together a lot of different material that I'm reading, and they're printed copies from Office Depot of different books, and it's 700 pages of them. So I'll let you know when I finish where I got all the information, but I don't know what part I'm on right now, to be honest.
We don't have a fax machine, so tell a little bit about your new website.
Well, it was, if you look at the front of it, the chains are broken and doves are flying off for freedom, representing freedom. I love that. I love the video with the sergeant. I think he's a sergeant or something. That was one of the first videos that I saw a couple of years ago. And it was funny because a guy that did our website put that up, and I was like, oh, wow. That was like one of the very first videos that I saw that woke me up to even more. I was already down the rabbit hole. That just sent me further down it. But if you haven't seen that video, I really encourage you to go and watch that one and the other ones that he has up on there that aren't of us, that are other people, because you learn so much from listening.
There's a fact section, frequently asked questions. If you can't find an answer to something that you're looking for, you can create your own ticket and it will send it to us to answer the question.
If the question is in there clearly, though, I'm going to ignore that because some people don't want to read. And if the answer is in there and you just don't want to search for it, then, I mean, because that's what our admins are getting consumed with. A lot of people are asking them things that are very clearly within the Q&A ebook. So, okay, I've written Harry, Audra, what's that? Crown a Nation. Okay.
Yeah, you might want to email us, Crown a Nation, so we actually have your name.
I really want all three of you, or if there's more landlords that want to get on a Zoom call, please please email me and say I'm a landlord, and I'll get you hooked up into the group, you know, with our admin to set up a call for all of us. We're going to create groups on Telegram, and I'm going to have different people in different states to lead those groups in Telegram for the state so that you can connect in your state. But we're not going to put it on our website. That would bog it down too much. So we'll put it into Telegram and create groups that way. Okay, Judy, I have you on the landlord list. But again, y'all might want to email me so that I have your full information and email address when that happens. That's a great idea. You should name a book that folks can start with. And then on one of your nights that we have a Q&A, you can ask questions, or they can ask questions of that specific book. I really and truly, I would do give yourself credit. Money doesn't grow on trees, because it fully applies to what we're doing here. And it is very, we can do that. So anybody that wants to get that book, we can just do a poll on Telegram and see how many people actually have read that book or have it. It's good. It's great.
If you've already DM'd me a 1099A, go ahead and put if you're doing another one, go ahead and add it to the DM. So since it's already in there, I'll find it in there instead of adding it into the website.
Okay. Yeah, Meet Your Straw Man is a really good book too. Pretty straightforward on what we've already talked about, but you can learn from all of the books. You can learn a little bit. And even if they repeat themselves in certain ways, repetition is great. I used to think, oh my goodness, this is saying the same thing that the other one said. But by repetition, you can speak the language and learn it better. So it's really beneficial to have it say it again so that you can grasp everything that you might have missed and just get it into your vocabulary, even though I haven't fully changed some of the words I need to be using. So
yes, Jennifer Causey, if it's we can still work with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to create an account on the website. I just know it's supposed to be able to be done. It went live like 5 minutes before we got on the live tonight, and I haven't even had a chance to go in and figure that part of it out. So
Wednesday night, we'll come to you live on anything that we learned from that.
Yeah.
In the next couple of days.
So
direct message is what DM is. Okay.
All right, guys.
Let's bow. And dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for giving us this time together to learn, to grow together as a movement. And we are thankful for all of the new people that have come forward to learn and start to, join our movement to further their lives and their freedoms as well. We ask that you would bring forth people that are willing to learn, that all it takes is a seed to be planted, and then it's up to you to make that seed grow, Lord Jesus. So we just ask that you would bring us the right people to grow this movement in the right way. And we thank you for all of it in your precious name. Amen.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll look forward to being back here.
We'll be back here Wednesday night unless I have a grandbaby, and then I won't be here.
Yep.
Okay. So,
and we'll do another Telegram live on Thursday, unless grandbaby's born. So we'll be in touch. You guys have a blessed night.
Thank you. Good night.